Life has a way of handing out doubts like free samples. People will question you. They'll say you're not good enough, not smart enough, not strong enough. They'll laugh at your dreams, whisper behind your back, and sometimes even say it to your face. You'll never make it. And in that moment, you have a choice. You can let their words sink in, let them weigh you down like stones in your pockets, or you can let them fuel you. Let them ignite something deep inside, a fire so fierce that every doubt, every rejection, every smirk becomes nothing more than background noise. This isn't about proving them wrong for the sake of revenge. No, it's about proving yourself right. It's about standing in the mirror, looking into your own eyes and knowing without a shadow of a doubt that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you belong in every room you step into, every goal you chase, and every dream you dare to dream. They will say you can't, and you will show them you can. They will say you're not meant for this, and you will prove you were built for it. Not through words, not through arguments, but through action, through resilience, through a quiet, unstoppable determination that doesn't need validation. Because one day, when you've climbed the mountain they said was too high, when you've built the life they swore was out of reach, they will look at you with disbelief. And you will smile, not out of spite, but because you always knew. You knew that the greatest way to silence doubt is with undeniable success. You knew that the loudest statement isn't shouted, it's shown. So go. Work in silence, build in private, and when the time comes, let your success do all the talking. Doubt is a constant shadow in life. It follows you when you step into the unknown, lingers when you dream too big, and grows louder when you dare to chase something beyond the ordinary. People will question your choices, your abilities, and even your right to try. They will tell you it's impossible, that you're wasting your time, that you should settle for something safer, smaller, more predictable. But what they don't understand is that doubt is not a dead end, it's a test. A test of how badly you want something. A test of whether you are willing to stand in the fire and not let it burn away your belief in yourself. Every person who has ever done something extraordinary has faced the voices of doubt, both from the world and from within. The difference? They did not let those voices win. This day, this moment is your opportunity. It is your chance to look at every doubt ever thrown your way and say, watch me, not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of an unshakable knowing that you are meant for more, that the doubts were never about you. They were about the limits of other people's imagination, and that is not your burden to carry. So go ahead, take that step forward. Let the world whisper, let them question, let them place their bets against you. Because the most beautiful thing about doubt is that it has never once stopped a determined soul from rising. Today is your day, and every doubt you overcome is another step toward proving that you were never meant to stay in the shadows, you were meant to shine. Life will always present you with a choice. When doubt knocks at your door, when criticism echoes around you, when failure stands in your path, you have two options. Let it define you or let it drive you. Every great story, every extraordinary journey begins with this decision. It's not about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. Some people allow negativity to consume them, to shrink their dreams, to make them believe they are not enough. They start accepting the limits that others set for them. They give power to the voices that say, you can't. But then there are those who choose differently. They take every doubt, every rejection, every closed door and turn it into fuel. They use it to push harder, to grow stronger, to become unstoppable. They don't waste time arguing with the world. They let their results speak for them. You have that same choice right now. You can either let someone else's opinion become your reality, or you can rewrite the story. You can decide today that no amount of disbelief from others will shake the belief you hold in yourself. You can decide that their doubts will not break you but build you, that their words will not discourage you but push you further. This day is yours. The power is in your hands. Either you surrender to the voices that say you can't, or you stand up, rise, and show them what happens when someone refuses to back down. Because the truth is, those who bet against you are not expecting you to fight back. So fight, not with anger, not with words, but with relentless action. Let them watch as you turn their doubts into your greatest triumph. The greatest victory is never in proving others wrong, it is in proving yourself right. The world will always have something to say. There will always be skeptics, critics, and doubters. But if your journey is only about seeking their approval or proving a point to them, you will always be chasing something outside of yourself. The real power lies in knowing deep within that you are capable, that you are enough, that you are destined for more, not because someone else believes it, but because you do. When you wake up each morning, the first person you face is yourself. That reflection in the mirror, that quiet voice inside your mind, that is the one who truly matters. Can you look yourself in the eye and say, I am doing everything I can to honor my dreams, my potential, my purpose? Can you stand tall not because the world is applauding, but because you know you are walking your path with integrity and determination? Success is not about proving to them that they were wrong about you. It is about proving to yourself that you were always right to believe, that the fire inside you was never misplaced, that the dreams in your heart were never too big, that the obstacles were not there to stop you but to shape you. Every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt is simply a stepping stone toward becoming the person you were meant to be. This day is yours, not to win someone else's validation, but to stand in your own power, to rise for yourself, to succeed not for revenge, not for recognition, but because you owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. Let them think what they want. Let them say what they will. Your greatest proof is not in their words. It is in your life, in the way you show up, in the way you rise, in the way you become everything you knew you could be. The loudest statements are not made with words. They are made with actions. You do not need to argue with those who doubt you. You do not need to convince anyone of your worth. The greatest proof of who you are and what you are capable of will come from what you do, not what you say. People will expect you to defend yourself, to explain your dreams, to justify why you believe in something they cannot see. But you don't owe them an explanation. The only thing you owe yourself is effort. The effort to keep moving forward, to keep pushing past the limits they placed on you, to keep showing up even when no one is watching. The ones who talk the most often do the least, but those who succeed, they do it quietly. They let their work, their growth, their achievements speak for them. This day is another chance to take action instead of talking. It's another opportunity to replace doubt with discipline, to replace fear with persistence. When someone says you can't, don't waste time trying to convince them otherwise. Just go out there and do it. When they say it's impossible, let your results make them question everything they thought they knew. The truth is, people don't believe in what they can't understand, and your journey is yours alone. They don't have to see it. They don't have to approve of it. But one day they will have no choice but to acknowledge it. One day they will see what you built, what you overcame, and what you became. And in that moment, you won't even need to say, I told you so, because your success will say it for you. Resilience is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Life will not hand you success simply because you want it. It will test you, it will challenge you, it will push you to the edge just to see if you have the strength to keep going. And when people doubt you, when they dismiss your potential, when they tell you to quit, that is the moment that defines everything. Because in that moment, you have a choice to give up or to rise. The truth is, setbacks will come. You will face rejection. You will hear no more times than you can count. You will fail, stumble, and wonder if you are even on the right path. But every great story has struggle. Every success was once a series of failures. What makes the difference is not talent, not luck, not privilege, but resilience. The ability to stand back up, to refuse defeat, to take every obstacle and turn it into an opportunity. This day, this moment is a chance to prove that nothing can break you. That every challenge you face only makes you stronger, that every time you fall, you rise with more wisdom, more strength, and more determination than before. Let them doubt you, let them say you won't make it, because the ones who succeed are not the ones who never struggled. They are the ones who never quit. Your resilience is your power. Your persistence is your proof. So when the world says you can't, let your actions say, watch me. When they expect you to give up, show them you are just getting started. One day they will look at you and realize that no amount of doubt, no amount of failure, no amount of resistance was ever enough to stop you. And that day will not be about them. It will be about you, about the person you became because you refused to break. True power is found in silence. In a world where everyone is quick to announce their plans, to prove themselves through words, there is something extraordinary about the ones who choose to work quietly, the ones who do not seek validation, who do not chase applause, who do not waste time explaining their dreams to people who will never understand them. They simply build, they grow, they become. There will be moments when you feel the urge to defend your journey, to respond to the doubts, to prove to the world that you are capable. But remember this: greatness is not loud. The strongest storms do not announce themselves. They just arrive and change everything. So instead of wasting energy convincing others, use that energy to create, to improve, to move forward. Let them wonder what you're up to. Let them assume you've given up. Let them underestimate you. Because when the time comes and your success is undeniable, they will have no choice but to see what you have become. This day is not for noise. It is not for empty words. It is for action, for discipline, for quiet but unstoppable progress. Because those who talk about their goals may impress people for a moment, but those who work in silence, those who put in the effort day after day with no need for recognition, those are the ones who truly win. One day when they finally see the results, they will ask, "How did you do it?" And you will smile because you know the truth. You did not waste time proving anything to them. You simply proved it to yourself in the quiet hours, in the unseen work, in the relentless pursuit of something greater. And that is the kind of success that no one can ever take away from you. Doubt is loud, but success is louder. Every time someone tells you that you can't, that you won't, that you're not good enough, they are handing you a choice. Let their words define you, or let your actions silence them. The most powerful response to doubt is not an argument, not an explanation, but undeniable success. People love to assume they judge what they don't understand. They think they know your limits, your potential, your destiny, but the truth is no one truly knows what you're capable of, not even you, until you push yourself beyond what you once thought possible. Every time someone underestimates you, take it as a gift, because nothing is more satisfying than watching the same people who once doubted you be left speechless when they see what you've become. This day is not about proving them wrong through words. It's about making progress that speaks for itself. It's about moving forward so relentlessly that one day they will have no choice but to acknowledge what they refuse to believe. Success does not need permission, and it does not need approval. It only needs you to stay committed, to stay hungry, to stay unshaken by their disbelief. When they see you rise, when they see what you've built, what you've overcome, what you've achieved, they will realize they were wrong. But by then, it won't even matter, because by then you will have already moved so far ahead that their doubts will be nothing more than a memory. Keep going. Let your success be the only answer you ever need. The world will always have an opinion about you, what you should do, who you should be, how far you can go. But the only voice that truly matters is the one inside you. Confidence is not given by others, it is built from within. It is not something you wait for, it is something you create. There will be days when no one believes in you, when the world looks at you and sees nothing special. That is when you must believe in yourself the most. Because if you don't, who will? You are the foundation of your own success, the architect of your own destiny. If you wait for others to validate your dreams, you will spend your whole life waiting. But if you decide today that you are enough, that you are capable, that you are meant for more, nothing can stop you. The strongest people are not the ones who were always supported, always praised, always encouraged. They are the ones who learned to stand alone, to trust themselves when no one else did. They are the ones who, despite the doubts, despite the criticism, despite the loneliness of the journey, kept going. And in the end, they are the ones who rise, not because the world finally believed in them, but because they never stopped believing in themselves. This day belongs to you, not to the voices that tell you what you can't do, not to the ones who try to limit you, but to the part of you that knows you were made for something greater. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You only need to trust yourself enough to take the next step, to keep moving forward, to prove, not to them, but to yourself, that you are everything you were meant to be. One day, the very people who doubted you will look at you in disbelief. The ones who laughed at your dreams, who said you wouldn't make it, who questioned your every step will fall silent. But by then, their opinions won't matter because you will have already built the life they said was impossible. What they fail to see now is the fire inside you, the quiet determination that refuses to break. They don't see the late nights, the sacrifices, the moments of doubt that you overcame alone. They only see what's on the surface, and they assume that's all there is. But what they don't realize is that every time they doubted you, they unknowingly gave you another reason to keep going. This journey is not just about you. It's about the ones watching from the sidelines, wondering if they too can break free from the limits placed upon them. When you rise, you don't just prove something to yourself, you light the way for others. You become living proof that doubt is just an illusion, that barriers exist only in the mind, that no amount of rejection can define someone who refuses to give up. This day, this moment is another step toward that future. A future where you stand tall, not because they finally believe in you, but because you always believed in yourself. And when they finally see what you have become, when they ask how you did it, you won't need to say a word, because your success, your journey, your life will speak louder than anything they ever said about you. Keep going, not just to show them, but to show the world what happens when someone refuses to be defined by doubt. There will come a day when you will look back at every moment of doubt, every rejection, every harsh word spoken against you, and you will smile. Not because it was easy, not because the journey was without pain, but because you endured, because you did not let their opinions define you, because you chose to rise when it would have been easier to give up. This life is yours, and every day is a new opportunity to rewrite the story. You do not have to be what they expect you to be. You do not have to follow the path they laid out for you. You do not have to shrink yourself to fit into the small space they have imagined for you. You are allowed to be bigger, to dream louder, to push beyond the limits they placed on you. You are allowed to break every expectation and build something extraordinary. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them assume. None of it matters. What matters is what you do when no one is watching. What matters is how you rise after every fall. What matters is the fire in your heart that refuses to be extinguished. One day, the same people who question you will tell your story as an example of what is possible. And when that day comes, it won't even be about them. It will be about you, who you became, how you endured, and how you turned every doubt into undeniable success. So go forward with courage. Let your actions speak. Let your success be the only answer. Prove them wrong, not with words, not with anger, but with the unstoppable force of your own greatness. Because this is your life, and the only person who gets to decide what is possible for you is you.